Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. As you guys can tell by the title of this video and by this intro screen, obviously we're off to a really bad start today, and we'll see if this all continues throughout the week and into next week as we close in on the election and all the volatility potentially spikes, which is actually something I want to check real quick. We can check the VIX index. The volatility index is up 13% today. This next week or two, it's really time to buckle in and see where we're heading as a country, as investors, as all of these different things. So we're gonna get right into it. But before we do, go ahead and smash the like button if at any point you do enjoy something you hear or if you learn something in this video. That's the best way to push it out to other viewers and get the just videos pushed out in general. Also subscribe to the channel as we continue our climb to 1,000 subscribers. Support you guys have shown me over the course of this year has been incredible, and obviously we're going to continue producing great content for you guys, and I really appreciate everything you guys have done for me. So obviously, as you guys see, the Dow is sitting around $27,630, and down about $705 or about 2.4% when looking at the S&P 500 and how this compares. Let's take a look here. Down about 2%, so the S&P 500 isn't down quite as much. But let's get into this article. CNBC, Dow dropped 700 points on pace for its worst day since early September, and potentially break down why these moves may be happening. So stocks fell sharply on Monday morning as coronavirus infections jumped and negotiations for a fiscal stimulus package before the election came down to the wire. The Dow Jones Industrial traded 707 points lower, and to touch on this for a second, I don't really think that the stimulus is going to get passed anytime before the election. They may agree on something potentially, but I don't think that we're really going to see a stimulus getting passed that benefits us instantly by any means. The decline came amid a record surge in new coronavirus cases in the United States. The country saw more than 83,000 new infections on both Friday and Saturday after outbreaks in the Sun Belt states, surpassing a previous record of roughly 77,000 cases set in July. According to data from Johns Hopkins University, the data also shows that showed the country had reported an average of 68,000 cases per day over the past 7 days, which is a new record. White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows said Sunday that the United States will not get control of the pandemic amid the surge. That the United States will not get control of the pandemic amid the surge in new cases. Okay. That's an interesting statement. Optimism also dimmed that the White House and Republicans could strike a stimulus deal with Democrats before the election. Like I said, it's not going to happen before the election. Obviously, that's next Tuesday, which is absolutely crazy that we're already almost there. Meadows and House Speaker Pelosi, in separate interviews, accused each other of moving the goalpost on stimulus talks. I think it's whichever side you lean, I think it's a power play by Pelosi, kind of just trying to get a potential quote-unquote win for the Democrats, which this is not a win. This is the life and safety of the American people. It's not really something that should be toyed with. White House economic advisor Larry Kudlow also told CNBC's Squawk Box that talks had slowed down, but noted they are still ongoing. The market is likely to drift lower near term in the face of stimulus disappointment, virus resurgence, and intensifying election uncertainty. So like I said, it's really time to buckle in these next 2 weeks, and probably beyond that as well. If there is any election uncertainty about who truly won, about who the true winner is, about all of these different things that you could name. Stocks with the most to lose from rising cases and stalled stimulus plan led to a decline Monday. Royal Caribbean fell 9% and Delta fell 4.3%. Obviously, you guys know I like Delta. Obviously, you guys know I like cruise stocks. So this is definitely not a good thing. Not something I want to see at this current point in time, but there could be long-term buying opportunities, especially if a stimulus deal gets passed here relatively soon. And by that I mean by the end of the year. SAP, one of the biggest software companies in Europe, saw its shares plunge more than 20% after warning the businesses that businesses are holding back from spending. It also cut its earnings and revenue estimates for 2020. All those things are very negative. They're going to affect the stock price, and clearly they did in a very large manner. Oracle stock was down by 5.2, and Microsoft lost 1.4. However, some names that would benefit from people spending more time home bucked the broader market's negative trend. Amazon climbed 1%, and Zoom Video gained 2.6. And then Apple was also up last time I checked. They were up about 1.4. So some of those, there are still stocks that are winning. Currently, this week marks the biggest week of October and the final trading period before November 3rd. Major averages are on track for modest gains for the month, with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ both rising more than 3% so far. The 30 stock Dow is up about 2% this month based on the action in the stock market we've seen over the past 2 weeks. It seems to us that it will take some serious new news to fuel a significant decline over the next week and a half. Matt Malley, chief market strategist at Miller Tabak, said in a note on Sunday, former Vice President Joe Biden maintains a sizable lead over President Trump in national polls, although the gap has narrowed slightly as of late. Obviously, if you guys watched the last debate, there are polls that said like 80% of the people who took the polls said Trump won the debate. Personally, I believe he did. Obviously, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I think he did a good job in that debate. And I think it could potentially help him. But a lot of people are voting early, so a lot of people may have already cast their votes at that point. I don't know. The polls are definitely an interesting thing. We saw the polls being an interesting situation in 2016, and they're going to be an interesting situation again in 2020. I could see it going either way, but I don't think we should be surprised by either outcome. I think both still have a really good chance of winning. So obviously let me know in the comment section below if there are any good buys at this point that you guys have found in stocks, whether you guys are keeping up with politics. I'd love to hear from you guys there. Whether you guys are just riding out the storm, you're not really putting money in, or whether you're selling potentially. I'd love to hear all that from you guys in the comment section below. And I will try my best to respond to every comment. Also, if you haven't already, go ahead and smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, ride this wave and happy investing.